for Shane Warne. And he's done it.
We would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the lands on which we meet today and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. We extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people listening in.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Aussies Abroad on the B Sample Sports Network, the show where we showcase the best Aussies kicking ass on the world stage every single day. Now, guys, last week we realized that a 90-minute show was too long. It was way too long. You guys have got too much time on your hands. You do not want to be sitting here and watching us three idiots talk rubbish for 90 minutes. So from now on, I will do our interviews separately to our show. So going forward, interviews will be different to the show, and we'll still stream them all out. But without further ado, let me introduce the two people that I am fortunate enough to spend one night a week with. Let's start with you, Ness. How do you feel about Canberra being introduced to a new 4-week lockdown after being in 5 weeks already? How do you feel?
I don't think that it's appropriate I actually say how I feel about lockdown at the moment. I have a new appreciation, and it's not like you didn't understand before listening to the other states that were going through this, but now that we're in it, my heart absolutely bleeds and goes out to everyone that's in lockdown. There are a lot of people really struggling, and I'm definitely starting to at the moment. So I'm really thinking of everyone at the minute. And look, it hasn't been great news to be stuck in good old Canberra. The weather has been beautiful, I'll give it that. We can now play tennis and golf, which is exciting, and we can go for picnics. So yeah, it's looking up.
Yeah, I was at work on Tuesday actually, when Andrew announced that we were having another 4 weeks of lockdown, and I might have said a few things that I can't say on the show. Mr. Kenneth, how do you feel, mate? Are we expending ourselves too much? Are you happy to be?
I feel like I'm just not allowed an input with because some others have it so much worse off. Yeah. So I'm still, I'm fine. But I just don't feel like I can complain about it at the moment with so many people having it worse. You just seem like I've only just discovered that something that is annoying, and you already, I don't know, some people have just had to fucking do it for too long, and we've only just started.
Here we are. So yes, to our good folks in Melbourne who are suffering through about day 230-ish, I'm sure you guys are suffering a lot more than we are here in day 50 odd. So I'm sure you guys are suffering a lot. But without further ado, let's get started with some news this week. And Daniel Ricciardo has won the Italian Grand Prix. Now, this is his first win in 3 years. Now, we won't talk about this too much because I know, Ness, you want to talk about this later. But in other motorsport news, Jet Lawrence, 18-year-old Jet Lawrence, has won the 250cc motocross championship. Now, this kid won 8 races this year. He won fourth overall, and then went on to win the championship for $1 million. 18-year-old has won $1 million, and he said he's unsure if he'll use the money to purchase a house or a car wash to invest that money. Now, what would you guys do with $18 million, with $1 million as an 18-year-old? I know what I would have done, and it was not invested in a car wash.
You know what? My best mate and I always joked that we were going to own a car wash when we were younger, so maybe I would have. I don't know. There's so many zeros in that I can't even comprehend, really.
I would have just made a lot of bad decisions, I guess.
You and me
That's-
both, and I would have given you half.
I think I'm better off by not winning $1 million at 18.
Exactly right. That's a good time for that. Right. And one of our favorite stars of all time, Mr. Alcott, has won the Golden Slam. And we spoke about this a few weeks back. He's won the Aussie Open, Wimbledon, the French Open, US Open, and the gold medal to be the first male athlete to win all 5 in the same season. And his speech was, when he gets home, he will have a schooner with every single Aussie. So here's to you, mate. We'll see you.
Let's
in
go.
2 weeks.
What a legend of a bloke, hey. I can't get enough of him. He's hilarious. He's obviously super talented. He's just a great dude. I'd love to be able to have a beer with him. He'd have to be up there with like one of your top people you'd want to have a beer with.
Absolutely. Yes. Hopefully we'll get you on the show, mate, very soon. So I've been in your DMs for a few weeks now. So hopefully you reach out to me at some time soon, because I know you're going to be on the show with me. And
Please.
yes, come on, Dylan.
He's
Come
just
on the
been
show, mate.
just like a solid few weeks. Like,
Yeah.
he'll be vulnerable at one point, and
I'm sure, yeah, you will be, yeah, on the show. Yeah, guys, let's talk about the NRL results over the weekend. Now, Souths upset the Panthers. Now, if you guys watch this show, I did tell you Souths are going to upset the Panthers, right? Melbourne smashed Manly, but no one watched that game because no one cares at all. Unfortunately, the Knights couldn't get the job done over the Eels. Mate, would you like to comment about what your Knights did over the Eels and how it panned out in the last few seconds?
Yeah, bullshit calls the whole game. We were obviously the better team. They sucked.
You were?
No, kidding. No, I thought we were outplayed. They deserved to win. It sucked. It was an emotional roller coaster the whole game, but I think at the end of the day, they were the better team. So I can't be too upset by that.
Yeah, the other match that no one watched at all was the Roosters, who got so lucky to beat the Titans. So I've got the numbers in, and there was a full total of 8 people that actually watched that match. So Ness, you were one of those 8 people. Can you tell me how the hell the Roosters did not lose this game?
I'm gonna touch on a little later, so I won't go too much into it. I'll take that this is a good result. I don't know how we won either, and if I'm honest, I don't think we deserved it. We played a trope.
We didn't.
The Titans, for goodness sake. There was, I wasn't going to drink, and I decided to have a few wines because it was stressful. So it was interesting. That's for sure.
I feel you. I missed out on a 60-1 multi by Thompson not scoring. I just needed him to score. Just needed him to score a try, and you hit a 60-1. And we know how the end of that match went. So
yeah, I was
filthy.
I was on South 1-12 and Titans 1-12 for a significant amount of money. So Nash, you owe me a significant amount of money. I will send that through to you.
I bet against money. So then, I either win the victory or I win money. That's how I operate. So.
No, that's not how it works, though.
Well,
that's not how it works.
So I'm rolling with it.
That's no good.
Right. Out of lockdown, I'll shout you whatever you want.
There were two matches. There were 2 matches in the AFL over the weekend. Both 2 Melbourne teams have won through to the AFL Grand Final. So congratulations to both of those teams. Geelong and Port Adelaide were absolutely horrible on the day. So we'll have Melbourne against the West Bulldogs on next Saturday night. So congratulations to both of those teams. However, we have a Wallabies win on the weekend. I need to be honest with you guys. I didn't watch the Wallabies win over the Saffers on the weekend, but Quade Cooper shone in his first match in about 18 months as the Wallabies won 28-26. He kicked a penalty goal after the siren. I didn't see the game because I just thought the Wallabies would lose. So here we are talking about a game I didn't see. Did you guys watch it?
I didn't watch it myself.
There you go.
Yeah.
Watch it either. I watched the replay of Quade Cooper.
I saw heaps of replays. Yeah, Wade scored, I think he scored 15 of our 28 points on the night, and he looked fantastic. As an Aussie, it's very hard to have a guy from New Zealand come into our team. Apparently, they're trying to knight him as an Aussie now because he was not strong enough to make the All Blacks team, and now he's with the Aussies. So, but he won the match for us against the Saffers. It'd be nice if he did the same thing against the All Blacks. So we'll see how we go going forward. And the Aussies, of course, have a second match this weekend. So make sure you tune in to that. Hopefully we get a win because it's been a long time since you won back-to-back games.
When was the last time we did beat the All Blacks?
Been centuries.
No, we've beaten the All Blacks. It was a few years ago we beat the All Blacks here in Australia, but it's been about 30 years. It's been 30 years since you won over there.
Holy crap.
It's been a long time, yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I think it was 88 in Auckland at Eden Park. But we won here in Sydney, I think, about 5 or 6 years ago. But I think that was the last match of the series. So I think they had no one's out there. So yeah. But yes.
Jeez, imagine. Come on.
It's been bad, yeah. Yeah. I'd hate to be a fan of a team that just wins every week because it's just
well, I think the last one I'm celebrating as a Roosters fan, so I can't tell you how that feels. Sorry.
I'll tell you, it feels. All right, guys, let's turn our attention to the NFL right now. And Jordan Mailata, the Aussie, we spoke about it a few weeks back. He was looking at $100 million contract, but he finally signed a $60 million contract over 4 years. Over 4 years with $80 million in incentives and $45 million guaranteed. Now, Bo, what does this mean for him going forward? He's obviously there for 4 years. Obviously, he's in a rubbish team in the NFC East because I'm a Cowboys fan and I hate the Eagles so much. But did you see the move he made on the weekend to truck that dude?
Yeah,
he trucked him bad. Yeah,
he earned all $45 million of his guaranteed dollars on that play. No, it's good to see. It's I think it just means a contract in the NFL these days doesn't mean much. No. So the guaranteed money is obviously what he was after there. So he's might never see all of his 60 or 80 million. He may never see that, but he's going to get his 45 at least or whatever. And it's time for him to get to work now. But by all means, he proved me wrong. I thought he wouldn't be able to. I mean, that's kind of negative, but I thought odds were against him, and he's done well. So, happy days. There's one fun thing to watch on the Philadelphia offense now if you're forced to it.
If you guys can check those highlights out, he absolutely nailed a bloke on the weekend. So search Jordan Mailata hurting someone, maybe. If this dude is dead, he's part of turf now. He nailed him, and he didn't even need to. The way he hit him was just absolutely horrible. If that was in the NFL, if that was NRL, it'd be a Roosters. For sure.
Can you imagine that though? Like 6'7", 160 kilos guy just running straight at you.
He just died. It was so good. So please check that out, guys. Absolutely. And now I want to talk about results from the NFL over the weekend. Now, Jordan Mailata and Aaron Stibos, they had a winning start with the Eagles, and they remain the only team in the NFC East with a win. Cam Johnson's moved on from the Eagles, and he's now with the Texans, and they had a solid start when they beat fellow Aussie Adam Gotsis and the Jags. Jordan Berry and the Steelers, they had a huge win over Super Bowl contenders, the Buffalo team, while Mitch Wisnowski and the 49ers overcame a late charge and beat the Lions. And the last Aussie I want to talk about is the person you guys know the most, Michael Dixon, the punter with the Seahawks, who beat Bo's team, the Colts. Now, Bo, do you want to talk about the Colts and the Steelers? And the Seahawks.
Again, we were just not the better team. We've got a coach that preaches,
had a
right?
rough
And you get sick of oh mate, terrible week. But we've got a coach that he preaches against winning in the trenches, winning in offensive versus defensive line, and not giving up too many big plays. Like you get sick of him saying it, and that's exactly where we lost the game, in the trenches and giving up big plays. So that's a kick to the face a bit, because there's a lot of excitement coming out for us. But
you were beaten.
There's another 16 games. We're fine.
You were beaten by a stronger team on the day, and a team that will probably go a lot further this year. So you can't be that hard on yourself, because the team that beats you will probably be a contender. So,
yeah, I don't know. I see it's probably, without sounding too one-eyed, we're probably as equal as in talent, I suppose, and expectations as Seattle. So yes, we weren't the favourites to win at all, even at home. We were like 3-point underdogs, but would have been nice to start the season with a win, which means 8 years in a row we've lost our opening game. Longest streak in the NFL.
I sat here on Friday morning, our time, and I watched my Cowboys lose to the Tampa Bay Bucks. And we probably should have won if we had a guy who could kick. I was very upset with myself, and it would be nice to see us win over the champions on the opening day of the season. But here I am, copying a lot of abuse for being a Cowboys fan. So thank you to everyone who messaged me on Friday and said the things that I said. I can't repeat those on the show, but thank you to all of you who reached out to me. Thank you very much.
Mate, hot take alert, though. I think that Thursday night game, we saw the two best teams in the NFC.
Oh, I love you, man. I love you. That's so good. I love you.
I don't think it's a hot take, but
and the Packers, Packers were terrible. Like, what we saw from the Packers was disgusting. Aaron Rodgers looks like 80 years old. Like, bad, man.
As a person that is a big advocate of Aaron Rodgers being the best,
I love me some Aaron Rodgers. I love me some Aaron Rodgers. That guy was rubbish. Yeah.
Did you hear him on the Pat McAfee show, actually?
I did.
Sorry to keep stopping.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, good. Don't worry about it. Let's move on.
It's terrible. Right, guys. Our final item of news is Aussie cricket captain Tim Payne, the wicketkeeper, is to undergo neck surgery this week, and looks like he'll miss the next month or two as we prepare for the Ashes. It looks like he is in a lot of pain. Come on.
Have you all seen the thing from like the Today Show or whatever? Or that entertainer? Have you seen it? Talking about Tim Payne's injury. Oh no. He's reporting about his injury to his neck and ends up making an inappropriate joke, and you all need to watch it and find it. Like, he's just made it accidentally. He's because he's got a back or something, right? So he's like talking about having a bulging disc, and he's pronounces it having a bulging dick, like, on live TV, and it's funny. Beautiful. It's good. It's a good watch.
Very nice. That's all we have time for. He had news this week. Let's touch on the good, bad, and ugly. Now, Mr. Kennett, I'm going to let you go first this week, mate. What do you got for us, buddy?
Yeah, I'll try and be quick. Like you said, we don't want the show to go too long, but my good this week is the feeling of being excited to wake up on a Monday morning. So to get up early, because it's 3 o'clock, we've got to get up now for the NFL, and it just, everyone hurts on a Sunday. That's, they got to go to work and whatever next week. It's just such a good feeling that you kind of look forward to a Monday now. So I'm happy about that instead of dreading Mondays all the time.
I remember having so many Mondays where I'll wake up at 5 o'clock usually and work all day. But so many Mondays at this time of year, I'll wake up at like 3 and watch NFL for a few hours and then work all day and then come home and watch highlights. And
it's the best.
And my Mondays are horrible, and I love every single one of them.
Let's go.
Best. Yeah. Red Zone, I love it.
I feel you. Oh, no, I'm too much of a nerd. I want to watch the whole drive.
No, Scott Hansen. Scott Hansen is the sexiest man on TV, except for me. Scott Hansen is, man. Check out Scott Hansen.
Not at
sexiest man on TV, except for me.
You would never agree to that. No one is going to agree to that.
Check out Scott Hansen.
Oh, damn. Anyway, moving on. My bad. Nice transition. My bad this week is Ash Barty having to play a final. They're talking about moving it to Mexico, which it's about 1,500 meters above seawater there. So they have to use a ball that's like less pressured to be able to play. And that's just fascinating to me that you're going to get someone to play a final, pro athletes, and playing conditions where they're using a pressureless ball, essentially.
How does it work?
I don't know. I
Yeah.
tried to look into it and the science behind it, and it got too nerdy for me. I'm not intelligent enough, so I cut my losses and I knew where to draw the line.
Like- For that, and knows, I guess, how that all works normally. So there's sort of no match play practice there. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
I know when you go to Denver to play in the NFL, you're higher, and the Patriots were using deflated for ages, but I'm not sure how you go with an deflated tennis ball. Like, is it just not?
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't pump them up because they're whole. So,
well, Ash Barty come out and said that if you used it in regular conditions, it just like absolutely wouldn't bounce.
yeah, of course.
So like probably not null and void bounce, but it's just really not going to bounce much at all.
Wow. There you go.
Crazy. Yeah. Anyway.
Nice.
And my ugly this week is, we touched on it before, but as a Newcastle Knights supporter, seeing our season come to an end, to a team which I like Manly way more than Parramatta. Like, I just can't stand Parramatta. I don't like the fans. I don't like Guther. I don't like, so losing to them was a shitty way to go out, but
That's
so
harsh,
be
man.
it.
There's always
It's
next
harsh.
year. There's always
And there's not with Newcastle. Like,
There's
we're
not
always
with
just
Newcastle.
trying
No,
to,
there's
like,
not. There's not next year. It could be 5 years. I'm sorry.
Any
mate.
experience supporting Newcastle, I tell you what.
Nice.
Like, love them. God bless them.
look-
Appreciate you.
Righto, Ness. I'm sorry, but I'm going next.
Go for it.
I want to talk about.
I'm just not going to like that.
The good. I want to talk about the good. The good is the timing between when my Sharks and the Swans lose in the Aussie sports to when the American sports start. Now, there is no transition because I'm a huge Aussie sports fan and American sports fan. So we've got college is already on, NFL's on, and the NBA starts in like 3 weeks, whatever it is. So with me, there's no off season ever. I just get sport all year round. I think there might be a week or two in February where there's not much on, but I'm sure I can find something to watch then. I just
You got to
love
get
the
into
fact
baseball. You got to get into baseball.
I'm a bit of a baseball fan, but
Oh, yeah.
a sports bet.
Yeah.
No, I'm a baseball fan. Okay, yes, I am. Shush. And yes, there's so much sport on all year round, and I love the transition of this time of year when the cricket's about to start over here, and we've got so much sport on, and the US sports all cranking on now. And it doesn't necessarily mean that I can't watch what I love, because I love everything. And so big ups to me for absolutely loving sport all year round. So that's my
Take a bow. Good.
very nice. My bad this week is Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide Power, as you call yourselves in the AFL. You guys were a dominant team all season, and I think you finished second overall this year, and you guys went through the finals and got absolutely trounced on the weekend by 71 points against the West Bulldogs. And I think you only scored 45 points on the night and got beaten by 71. You guys are a disgrace to AFL, and you should not call yourselves an Adelaide team. You always be second place to the Crows. And shout out to friends of mine who are Crows fans, and I'm sure you guys will love the fact that Port Adelaide got absolutely thrashed, even though Adelaide Crows aren't in the finals this year. So shout out to all the Adelaide Crows fans. You guys know who you are. And my ugly this week includes the Roosters, of course, is NRL coaches. You guys sit there in your presses every week and you whinge and whine about how bad every other team is, but you guys are doing the exact same thing. Once you lose match, you guys sit there and cry about, oh, it was his fault, it was their fault, they did this, they did that. If you guys were in the same position, you guys would be doing the exact same thing. Every one of you pushes the boundaries every single week. Whether it was the Melbourne Storm with the wrestling tactics, whether it was the Sharks with their drugs scandal, whether it was the Storm with their salary cap scandal, whether it was the Roosters with their under the table payments, every team has pushed the boundaries every week. But every single week, you all sit there and whinge about the other coach because you guys lost. And I'm sick of it. I want a coach to come out and say, you know what? We lost because the other team was a better team. I've never heard that. I've never heard someone actually be honest and say the reason we lost was because we were crap.
I really want to defend.
I've definitely heard it.
Get slammed for doing it. But I actually
Defend away.
No, like literally though, Trent Robinson does have one of the
and
best.
that's all we have time for. Thank you for coming.
You are really in trouble from Mum.
I know. Can you be nice just for once? It's been a tough week. No, but I like he
Spinks, you're on fucking mute for 5 minutes.
Sorry, Des, I'm sorry.
No, I don't think he whinges as much as some of the others, but I did watch the Wayne Bennett and Ivan Cleary little fiasco at the end, and it's like, you guys are pathetic. Just you.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Shocking. Whereas I actually have heard Trent Robinson say we lost because the other team were better. I have heard it. I'll find it. I'll find the footage.
If you guys can look for it, there is a college football coach. I think he is. It might be a high school coach. So look for honest coaches online. And this coach gives an honest assessment of his team. And we can't show it on this show because there are a few bad words in it. But this coach gives an honest assessment of it. And that's what a coach should do each week. And I know you have to look after your sponsors. You look after this and after that. But it'd be nice to actually hear someone say we lost because we were actually the worst team on the day. It's so easy to say it was their fault. It was their fault. It's always someone else's fault. So it'd be nice if a coach would actually come out and be honest about how terrible the team was. And saying that, let's introduce Ness, a Roosters fan. Ness, what have you got for us this week?
I'm the only one of us that's in the finals. So.
Burn.
Turn it up. Oh,
I'm aware that my time on the show is limited. After
it is, yeah.
Yeah. My good this week is actually Daniel Ricciardo, and I know we touched on it in the news. I did manage to stay up the whole time and watch the whole race. And I know I said last week I'm a kind of, two laps at the start and sort of 2 laps at the end kind of F1 fan, but it was actually awesome. He got off to a blinder of a start and held the lead. It was just good to see. And I know I talked a little bit about team orders. When it's Daniel Ricciardo, it doesn't apply. It was really good that they told Norris to back off and let Dan win. So that was cool. And he's shoey at the end, and then he spoke Italian to the crowd. Oh, a little heart.
Yeah.
It was awesome. So good work, Dan Ricciardo. It's good to see you back on the winners on the podium, and doing it for the Aussies. And the second win of the day, that was really cool. So
I think that was
good.
His first win in 3 years, and I think it was McLaren's first win in like 9 years, maybe.
Oh wow! I did not know
a long time. Yeah, 3,180 days. Whatever that works out at. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since McLaren's won. They're like through the 90s, they were huge. I think having him there now has certainly helped them because it's got more, for him. So it's been very nice to see. I think is this one of the future, or is this one of him just doing what he needs to do to secure a contract next year?
Yeah, does he have a seat? Where is he? What is his
I think he's got a seat next year, but that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe he's due for a couple of wins over the next 18 months. And
it's just such a hard grid at the moment.
It's bad. Yeah.
Like there's
3 or 4 top awesome dudes, and then everyone else is way down there. Yeah.
It would be nice. It would be nice. So it would be so sick to see him get a few wins back to back or something like that.
Very nice.
He deserves it. Like I've said before, he's a hilarious dude. So
He's so
keeping him around is
And
in my
he's
best
chewy.
interest anyway.
And the shoey every time.
He's just there's so I just admire him. He's awesome. Good value. I'd like to have a beer with him, I reckon.
We'll vouch for it, right?
Oh, mate.
All three of us will do a shoey on the show the next time Ricardo wins a race. Right?
Done.
All three of us.
Absolutely.
All three of us. The shoe you're wearing. I'm wearing a slipper right now, but I'll do a shoey. All three of us.
I'm wearing
right?
the
Yeah.
Peter
Next time.
Alexander slipper.
The next time Ricardo wins a race, all three of us shoey.
I'll make that pact. Done.
Beautiful. Very nice.
The only other good I have is that the Vixens have signed their 2 co-captains and leadership group member Em Mannix today. So good work, Vixens. We are going to come back better and, well, we can't be worse. So we're going to come back better next year. But that's awesome news. So, and good to see Lizzie Watson back in Diamonds colours as well. So the girls are training over in Perth at the moment. So that'll be good. My bad this week, Spinks talked about how there's sort of not an off season for him with sport ever. And I guess I'm not into the American sport as much. I do really like the baseball, but I'm going to work on liking the NFL so I actually can contribute to your discussions. But for me, like there's just been so many cancellations, like the Constellation Cup netball's been rescheduled and cancelled. The Diamonds were meant to host the English Roses in October. And the Silver Ferns in Cairns. And so there's so many things that have been cancelled. The NRL's about to finish. The AFL's about to finish. So I feel like, oh, gosh, what am I going to do? All this sport is ending and we're in lockdown for another 4 weeks.
You are wrong. Sport is beginning.
Wrong.
Come on.
Sport for days.
So I'm going to have to start liking the American sports a bit more and obviously watching the F1, which was actually awesome on Sunday night. So I guess I'm going to have to do that.
If you start with the American sports, the basketball is probably the easiest sport. Basketball is very easy to watch and follow, and it usually ends nicely. Like there's always a lot of action. American football is very hard to learn. There's a lot going on. There's so much going on. Yeah.
I'm like an attention span of a 4-year-old. Like it's just too long. But anyway,
it's
I'll
like
work
3 hours.
We've got time.
Awesomeness. It's great.
It's the goddamn best thing on the planet.
Yeah, it is.
We'll watch a game virtually and you can educate.
We'll watch a game and we'll educate you for why.
Okay.
That's the best. Yeah, that's so good. Yeah.
There's a lot of analytics in it, which is one of the things which I just go full OCD about. So
yeah, it's so good, man. It's so good. I love it. The best.
My ugly this week is, and I know I should be a really happy Roosters fan, and I know I said we're the only one in the finals out of the 3 of us, but honestly, I am really proud of the season that we've had with all the injuries that we've had, and I've spoken about that. However, nearly losing, let's be honest, it was very close. That last 30 seconds of the game was pretty stressful. But if we play like that against Manly on the weekend, we are going to lose by a minimum 18 points. And I feel like Turbo had such a chill game, and I think the Storm really held him off and they completely shut him down. I think he's going to come out firing, and I think if I was a betting lady, I would say that you should put lots of money on him to score lots of tries because I feel like fire this week.
Lots of money on lots of tries. Done.
So I'm terrified, and I think I've seen the last of my Roosters merchandise for the year. I don't think we're progressing from here, and look, it's really great. We've had an amazing season to make finals, given like we've joked about all of us getting a call up from Trent Robinson because they've really been depleted.
That's good.
Yeah, it's been a great achievement, but I think it all ends this weekend for the Chookies.
Really could just go down as like a season of what if, huh? For the Roosters, like it's
and
absolutely will be a what if.
Verrills out, really, like that stings because he was playing pretty solidly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's been tough, yeah.
Tough luck.
Yeah.
Mm.
Right, guys, look, thank you very much for your good, bad, and ugly. Let's tune into what's happening at this weekend. Now, a special announcement for you guys. 9:30 on Sunday morning is the Penn State Auburn match. Now, Penn State college football team has a thing called the whiteout. Now, I'm going to get Josh to put it up on the screen here right now. Penn State has a whiteout where 109,000 fans wear white. This is the third largest stadium in the world. And they have this the whole world. This is a college stadium, and they all wear white. And it is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. This is 9:30 on Sunday morning. It is on Para Sports and Fox Sports as well. So if you guys have that, tune in. The Penn State whiteout is one of the most beautiful things you'll ever see. Not only is it what's happening outside, it's what's happening on the field. They've had players who cannot understand the signal from the guy standing next to them. And then, no, mate, you know what this is. You cannot understand the signal from there because you got 109,000 fans screaming in your ear and everyone's wearing white. It is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Please tune in for the Penn State whiteout, 9:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. But let's talk about the NRL because I want some tips from you guys this week. Now, let's start with you. Manly versus the Roosters. Who wins?
Manly's going to win.
By how many?
Manly's going to beat us by 16 points. That's my tip.
Bo, Manly versus Roosters. How many?
It depends what Trent Robinson can get that team up to. They're always going to come and play defense. I think you don't make the team if you can't defend. And if there's one team, if you can just take one person out of to win, it's Manly. So there's guys that can play defense. Maybe they'll be able to pull it out and Turbo will have a quiet night and the Roosters have a chance. I'll go the Roosters.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Well, I don't know that.
Manly versus Roosters, I've got something else to do. I need to wash my hair or something, but I think Manly by about 28 or 30. I think Manly will absolutely just demolish the Roosters. So we should between now. I want to talk. Be sure to tune in for that match. Right, the second match of the weekend is Penrith versus Parramatta. Now, I'll go first. I think Penrith will smash Parramatta. They've been ordinary for a few weeks now, the Eels, and I think Penrith got unlucky to be beaten by South. So I think Parramatta are in for a big trouble on Saturday night. I think Penrith will win by a fortune. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I agree. I think Penrith have got it. I don't know. I don't think it'll be, I think it will be significant, but it won't be the thrashing that we're expecting. I reckon there's maybe 10 or 12 points in it.
I just don't want to see, like, everyone wins if Penrith wins. They're the most entertaining team to watch.
Yeah.
And then everyone loses if Parramatta loses because you've got to deal with another week of watching Gutho be a princess.
It's beautiful. I love to see it.
He's the single hardest person to get around. Oh, I don't know.
All right, guys. The last thing we have for you this week is you should all be hopping up at 3 o'clock on Monday morning for the NFL. Now, I know some of you are in lockdown at the moment, so you're not at work. But the good thing is you can hop up at 3 o'clock on Monday morning to watch some NFL games. And there is a plethora of games to watch. Usually there's 10 games between 3 and 6. There's about 6 games between 6:25 and 10. And there's a game at 10:30. So if you guys are not hopping up to watch the NFL on Monday morning, you guys need to get a hobby. All right. So there's so many big games this weekend, including the Indianapolis Colts. I'm not sure who they're up against, but definitely take them to lose. So
we got the Rams. So yeah,
you're definitely going to lose that. That's right. The Cowboys have got the Chargers this week. So both of our teams will get beaten by an LA team this week. Definitely take the LA teams to win.
I'm taking Dallas
against the Chargers. Oh, but no, man.
100%.
Maybe we'll see. All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you very much. We'll see you guys next week. Cheers.
Peace.
For Shane Warne. He's done it.
would like to begin by acknowledging the traditional custodians of the lands on which we meet today and pay our respects to their elders past, present and emerging. We extend that respect to Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people listening in